Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy, Sports and Fitness Rants? I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. Ladies and gentlemen, on my channel, I'm always telling you guys, live an active lifestyle, make smart nutritional choices, right? Move more, sit less. Fight against that laziness, ladies and gentlemen. It's not about what you look like in the mirror, but about how you feel. It's not about perfection, but about consistency, ladies and gentlemen. And here I am back at my hill. It's back to the hill train, ladies and gentlemen. The weather's starting to get nicer, right? The seasons are changing over here in this part of the country. So I'm back to my hill. You guys have seen my channel. If you've been part of my channel, you guys have seen the other videos that I've posted in the past of hill training. You should be hill training. You should be, I told you, find a hill and run, sprint up it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the exercise right there. Now, it sounds simple, but it's very, very difficult, because when I'm talking about hill training and we're talking about sprinting up a hill, that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's a sprint. It's a sprint up the hill. Now, I've already done my training, and I've broken it down to you guys before how I approach this hill training. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, guys. Like I said, I'm not an Olympic sprinter. You know, I'm not this world-class elite athlete. I'm an everyday regular person, but I understand the value in hill training. And I've told you guys to train fast, right? To train fast so you can be fast. Move fast so you can be fast, right? If you train slow, you're gonna be slow. If you move slow, you're gonna be slow. You wanna be able to move as fast as you can. So when I'm saying move fast, I'm talking about as fast as you can go. It's not trying to beat my speed or beat someone else's speed. I told you, it's not about anyone else. It's not about what I'm doing, all right? Or how fast I'm going, but where you wanna go is as fast as you can go. I'm gonna go as fast as I can go. You go as fast as you can go. And that's the key to these hill sprints, ladies and gentlemen, to hill training. Now, hill training, running up a hill, is actually better for you on your knees and all this stuff than actually sprinting on a flat surface, ladies and gentlemen, all right? So you get less wear and tear going up the hill on your knees and all this stuff. Also, it's a different angle that you're running at, right? You're almost leaning into it, right? You can't run up a hill like this. You have to lean into the sprint, right? Dig, right? Dig into that ground. Pump those arms. Get those knees up and drive back when you're going up the hill to go as fast as you can go, ladies and gentlemen. All right? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go up one. I tell you, I already did my training. I'm kind of winded and gassed, but I'm going to run up one, and then we're going to come down. Remember, when you're coming down, we're controlling the descent, right? It's a control. We're not just tumbling down out of control. We're controlling our descent. All right, that was controlled on the way down. That was only one, and I'm gassed already. One sprint will get you breathing heavy. These damn bugs will get you breathing heavy, ladies and gentlemen. So remember, when you're going up, leaning, pumping those arms, driving, right? Those knees up, drive off that ground, leaning forward, right? Head down. And when you're coming down the hill, it's a controlled descent on the way down, ladies and gentlemen. Don't just come flying down all out of control. That's how you lose your footing. That's how we can take a tumble. And remember, that's part of the workout, ladies and gentlemen. Coming down the hill is part of the workout. That's why we control the descent. And then boom, we go into the next one. So the way that I like to do it, and I've told you guys before, is I try to aim for 10 sprints. Like I said, I'm not an elite athlete or world-class athlete, a sprinter, any of those kinds of things. And I haven't done a hill since probably last summer. So usually I don't get out to these hills, you know, until like the spring, summertime. And, you know, I really wish I could get out, or I wish I did them more often, because to me, the hill training is it just does something else to you guys. It's very tiring, very fatiguing, but at the same time, it's building up your strength, running up these hills. And it's very challenging. So I tell you guys, don't avoid the things that you don't like to do. That's the thing about the hill training, about a lot of these exercises, the burpees, you know, things that I've talked to you guys about. A lot of these exercises aren't popular. They're not fun. They're not easy. Like I said, they're hard to do. So a lot of people avoid these things, right? Running up a hill, sprinting in general, people don't normally do. But if you want to be fast, if you want to stay fast as you get older in life, then you got to move fast, ladies and gentlemen. You can't just always move slow. When you watch a lot of these bodybuilders out here all the time, they're moving slow. They do everything slow. Everything is a controlled rep, right? And they're mostly focused on the look. I've told you, bodybuilding is not fitness. They're not interested in fitness and health. They're interested in the look, ladies and gentlemen. So train fast to be fast. Find a hill, sprint up it. This is a pretty big hill right here, right? There are many bigger hills. I've told you guys in the channel about Jerry Rice, Walter Payton, the hill train that these guys implemented into their routines in the off season. Work wonders for these men. So if it's good enough for Jerry Rice, if it's good enough for Walter Payton, then it's good enough for you, ladies and gentlemen. Find a hill, sprint up it as fast as you can. Remember, as fast as you can. You're not racing anyone but yourself, and push yourself, ladies and gentlemen. I try to do 10 sprints, and I try to do in sets of two. So like I just did there, I'll sprint up the hill, right? Then as soon as I come down, I'll come right down to a certain point, and I turn right back around and go right back up. Right, and that'll be one set of 2 reps. And I'll try to do that 5 different times, which will be 10 sprints. And that's what I aim for, ladies and gentlemen, 10 sprints. Now remember to warm yourself up. You want to get warmed up before you come out here and start sprinting. Maybe do some jumping jacks, some jump rope. Remember, I always have my trusty jump rope with me, guys, I told you. So think about something like that. Maybe go up the hill a couple times. That's what I do. I usually jog up the hill 3-4 times before I start sprinting hardcore. Just do a light jog up the hill and then a nice kind of descent before I start doing my actual sprinting sets, ladies and gentlemen. But remember, if you exercise slow, if you move slow when you work out, if all your workouts are just stationary exercises and you're just doing then you're never going to be fast, ladies and gentlemen. You want to remain fast. You want to remain quick. Like I said, especially as we get older. What's the one thing that you notice about older people as they age? It's not necessarily that they get skinny or they lose their muscles or they get weak and they get frail. They get slow, right? Old people move slow. They talk slow, they drive slow, they walk slow, they do things slowly, right? They think slowly. That's the breakdown, ladies and gentlemen. As we get older, you become very slow. Instead, think about trying to remain and keep that quickness as long as you can. Train fast, move fast, think fast, be quick, be fast. And that will help you maintain that speed, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, find a hill and sprint up it.